All right, Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. Thanks for joining us. Who am I looking at here? 248 yards rushing last year, 2 tugs in the end zone, about 30 carries. None other than, you guessed it, this is Corey Grant, Jacksonville Jaguars, somebody I just traded for. And I mortgaged a 2019 second-round rookie draft pick in my 2QB Superflex Dynasty Fantasy Football League. People are saying, oh, what an idiot. People are laughing in my league. What a dumbass. Giving up a future second-round pick for this running back. No. Do not listen to any of the naysayers. Get this guy on your team at whatever cost. I think a guy on Twitter the other day actually got a 4th round. I'm very jealous. Future. 2019 is not the class you want to deal with. 2017, we've been waiting for that storm our whole lives if you're playing fantasy football, especially in a dynasty form. 2018 is a decent draft. You have some really nice running backs. We all know who they are. We have some good quarterbacks, but overall, it's nothing like 17. But 18 is there. 19 is going to suck. 2020, it's going to be good. So I gave up next year because I mortgaged the second round. I got Corey Grant because I own Leo Fournette. That's why. Well, how do you do all this trading stuff? And if you go back to a core draft of a dynasty, and I'm in a 2QB Superflex, keep that in mind. Why do I value such crazy behavior? Well, year one, what I did was I put a wedge underneath this bowling ball. Let's say the gravity is just super coming down this hill, right? Well, I put a stop on that. What I did was in the core draft, I said, listen, year one, I'm not going to play for this year. I'm going to stockpile some picks. And what did I do? In year one, I got a bunch of 2017 picks so that I would be relevant year two, which was last year. And I got Kamara, I got Leo Fournette. But how I did that was year one, I started asking guys in the core draft, hey, listen, do you want my 4th and 5th overall core startup? 4th and 5th overall core startup are good picks. I mean, those are good wide receivers, good running backs. But I got 2017 first round, second round, even some late 3rds and 4ths. Because I started trading and mortgaging the future. And now, by putting a wedge on my team or hold the bowling ball, it's only going to get thicker and faster as we get into year 2, year 3, which are the money years in Dynasty as you move along. So year 1, I put it on hold. That's how I got Leo Fournette. Year 2, stockpiled a bunch of good running backs, Alvin Kamara. I got Tariq Cohen. Okay, I just nailed it on all these guys. And so what I'm trying to say, guys, is you have to have a plan, but you have to understand a couple terminology things in that Superflex, especially in a core startup. I'm showing you Monopoly because I play a lot of it and I really enjoy it. A lot of people have said old wives' tales are, you don't really need to buy the light blue colors in Monopoly. Just pass them by because they're only $100. Just keep going, go for the other colors. I disagree. I play a lot of Monopoly, and the light blues combined with the next color I'm about to tell you is the best early strategy you can do. So if you're in a 2QB Superflex, you want to mix in some QBs early. Not everybody's going to do that because they're still either number 1 in redraft mentality, number 2, they don't understand Dynasty because, again, you're doing a core draft, right? And this is for more beginners, fellas out there that are watching that are like, whoa, this is elementary, we know that. But if you're listening here and you want some tips on how to start the core draft out, mix in some QBs. Phillip Rivers was one guy I got. Matt Ryan, okay? Obviously, one of my first early picks was Russell Wilson because I played him for the future. But I stockpiled the QBs, okay? And then, which color do you think were the running backs? And again, I'm using a Monopoly, going around the board. Which color is good in Monopoly? We're talking about here, the light blues to try to get an early strategy. But what color comes next? Red. The red properties in Monopoly combined with the light blue are a deadly early on strategy, right? We all know this. Runners are great. So in the core draft, yes, of course, pick up some runners. You combine them with some QBs. Why? Because the QBs can be cashed in later for other draft picks, for other players, for other veterans, okay? Year 1, you got all these QBs, and that's assuming that your rules don't indicate that you can't max out on 3 quarterbacks or whatever, 4 quarterbacks. That is a disclaimer in this video, but holy cow, man, if you're playing a league where they max you out on certain quarterbacks like that on a core draft, that's not capitalism and that's not fun. You should be able to draft as many as you want. And once you stockpile them and you combine them with some runners, just like the real game of Monopoly, you're going to start to build an early strategy and be able to trade those quarterbacks for other picks. The reds, right, in the game of Monopoly are more frequently landed upon, But just like fantasy football, they're a lot more frequently in the door and they're coming out the door. So you definitely want to be able to stockpile future rookie running backs. And that's how I operate. I like the quarterbacks in the early parts of a core draft because they're not that much to invest in. People kept waiting on quarterback at my startup. I was like, what the hell, man? These people are passing up on all these QBs. They just figured there'll be plenty left around. Not so, because there's only 12 owners. And, right, there's 32 NFL teams. Everybody drafts 2 quarterbacks. Well, that's 24. So there's different strategies you can take. Maybe I've given you something to jog the mind a little bit. You could basically say the next strategy in the real game of Monopoly is to acquire the green properties, but that's a late strategy in Monopoly. That's already when you have the light blue and the red captured and you're fully, flourishing. And now you drop the hammer and you get these greens. But in a core draft, how I can throw that analogy your way would be, you want to, from round 3, 4, 5, get some of those wide receivers pumping in your core draft. And then, you can move on to kind of what I've thrown out here are some different value landing spots for tight end, right? The yellows are a very, very good property to own in Monopoly. But I kind of liken them to a rookie tight end in our discussion here. Delaney Walker, maybe the steady Eddie Orange, the veteran tight end, and then the overpriced boardwalk, right, Gronk. The orange, basically the orange and the blue in Monopoly are a very nice combination. So I like to always get some veteran tight ends, and then I'll go ahead and draft Evan Ingram like I did for the tight ends over here. Hopefully that kind of makes sense on where my mind's going. I got a crazy mind. And so that leaves us with the bowling ball's getting bigger. It's coming down the hill. We've already powered ourselves through year 1. We finished, I think I finished in like 4th or 5th place year 1. Didn't do terrible. But now that I got Kamara, I got Tariq Cohen, I got all these things. Year 3, right? This is where I'm at. That's why I'm mortgaging these future picks, because I'm gonna just go out and buy guys, right? Now, this draft coming up for me in 2018, I don't have any picks. I basically have like an 8th, 9th, and maybe a 10th round rookie pick, which are all meaningless. But I got all these huge value guys, man. I got all these veterans. I've done my homework from year 1, now year 2 last year, and then moving into year 3, this is where I'm just going to attack. And from here on out, I'm taking the safety net off. I'm going for it, man. Year 5, we'll figure that out. That's still too far away as I splice this up for you. Some of the things I keep in mind, and from a business standpoint, it's more of like an objective thing. Start asking some of these questions. I'll read them off in case you can't read this, but what stage of growth and development is your opponent at? Well, if it's year 1, they probably don't want to trade. You have to wait a little bit, but they might. You never know. What needs or deficiencies does an owner have? You got to look at the other team. What are the trade deadlines in your league? Find that out, because you need to know when you can shove in. How is this owner best found? Is it text? Well, once you find a method for this guy, attack. Don't just always use what the website has. Try his email, try his telephone, try his text. Get to know the guy. Trading partners. That's what it's all about. Okay, what do others know about this person? I don't know. Find out from your friends in your league, or if this is a random league, that's really hard. You're going to have to do a lot of homework because it's hard to figure out who you're dealing with. But some of the questions you want to start writing down is, as you approach the call, what am I willing to give up and why? How bad do I want to win year 2 and year 3? Well, for me, those are the 2 years in Dynasty. I want to go for it. Which veterans do I want to secure? These are, I'm not going to read them all. You get the gist, okay? You don't want to rush any of this stuff, but you want to have some questions and jog the mind. And then on a piece of paper, what I do is I just kind of make a little list, and I keep like a little notebook, right, on each owner in my league. There's only 11 other than me. And then I'll make a checklist on guys I want, and I scratch them off as I go. Objectives, and then next steps, long-term plan. What do I want to do? And you can fill in the blanks, make it real simple. A lot of smart guys know this, but you never want to take notes on an 8x10 piece of paper going this way. You always want to turn it horizontally. For some reason, your brain reads it better in lines like this, and you can actually cut it in half and cut it this way. And I don't know, for whatever reason, the human brain likes to read boxes and stuff like this, so then you can fill it in here. Maybe that helps you, maybe that doesn't. So there you have it. Some of the things I'll just give you my own personal tips. Again, as we talk about mortgaging future picks or doing whatever you want, that's your own style. That's what I do. But don't ever criticize an owner in the middle of a deal. Don't make him feel bad, right? don't trash the other guy's players that you're going to want, because he's just going to drive up the price, right? And then when you talk to somebody or casually, whether there's a backyard party or you're just on the website, don't tell somebody, send me an offer. Do the research, try to make this thing worth everyone's time so that it betters both teams, okay? Some of the tricks I use is I'll send an offer and I'll explain what I'm trying to do. And oftentimes when people see what your intentions are, that might open the lines of communication. Like, for instance, I sent the guy a future second round 2019 for Corey Grant, and I said, this is what I want to do. I own Leo Fournette. I'd like his cuff. I see potential in this kid, and I see that you came in last place last year. You might do okay this year, but if you have a next year's 2019, that might help your team. Boom, trade was done. Consequently, a lot of the times when I get offers, I'll write back my objections or my reasons. For this reason, I can't do this deal. Or, this guy, Stephon Diggs is going to be on my team until my team is, retires in the sunset. Or whatever the reason is. That's always a nice thing to do too. But it takes two people to tango. They say that all the time. It takes, two guys that come out feeling good about each other's trades. The worst thing on this planet is buyer's remorse. So don't ever make the trade seem like that. Other ideas, as I kind of go back to this like Monopoly game, right? Everything's a game. Take a chance. There's chance cards. There's community chest. You can bridge deals. You can pay for get out of jail free cards. There's all kinds of stuff in the off season you can do with Monopoly, with the board game itself, and then also translating into Dynasty Fantasy Football. But how about this one? I send a guy an offer and then I retract it right away. Make him think. Hey, why did he do that? He didn't even give me a chance to look at it. Another trick I'll do is during season time, I'll throw out a trade 5 minutes before kickoff. Make him make the tough decision on something like that. If you really have to overpay for a player, then you're going to do it. And that's the same way I look at it when I receive trades is, if this person really wants Amari Cooper, he's going to have to bring all of it or it's not going to move me. So hopefully this video helps you a little bit on 2 QB Superflex. If you're in just a regular Dynasty League, maybe you got some questions or whatever, maybe I can help. But like I said, I'm kind of a crazy thinker, but when I go after a guy that I see, like this kid right here, I just see potential in long-term stash, especially with Jacksonville, especially with Leo, with that foot, that ankle. Whoever's running it in Jacksonville, the Sledgehammer's Leo. He is my favorite. He is my go-to guy, but man, if he misses time, I can still pick up the pieces and the change with this guy. And in the end, I'm playing to win from here on out. Year 1 was my stall tactic to build my picks, and now I'm all in. Year 3, year 4, year 5, and into the sunset. Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all you guys, and I'll have some more insights now that I'm back, kind of full gear here. We got the draft coming up, NFL Real Draft, April 26th. And hopefully I'll have some more information for you, too, on some sleepers or whatever, breakout guys that I like, other than what you're hearing on a lot of the other sites and just the mass media trying to tell you who to draft and all this. But be good. I'll talk to you later. All right, later.